Hey everybody, sorry it's really windy so the sound is probably pretty bad, but I'm just up on top of here. I'm just taking this little globe off and a monitor off of this tractor because we're going to steal it and use it on our side-by-side to flag shelters in the field for the bees.
Hey everybody, it's Kyle here. So I'm just at home here on the weekend editing the video, and I thought I'd try something new. You probably noticed that the video is like 30 or 40 minutes, so quite a bit longer than we normally do. And I know a lot of people like to have like a longer video that they have just on in the background as they're doing things. And so I thought I'd give it a shot. This video is kind of like a week in the life of the Torries or a week at Riverview Ranch. Not everything obviously, but it'll go through things like fixing pivots and checking cows, showing the progress of the crops and checking the bees, a whole bunch of different things, just all stuffed into one video. So it might be kind of fun for you to be able to see all that at once. Just have it on in the background. You can skip. I'll probably make little chapters so you can see on the bottom of the screen all the different topics. But let me know in the comments what you think, if you like it. And yeah, we'll get back to the video. Thanks.
I'm not actually just stealing it off of any random tractor. It is ours. This is still ours. We're just sharing it. That was exactly the same question Tolson had for me. We're stealing it? We don't steal. It's like, I'm sorry. Better word choice. We are using our own, but for a different purpose. And so we'll steal this off, borrow this off, and then I'll show you kind of how we make some of the maps and how we go about flagging a field. See you in a bit. Hello. Okay, so now we're working on our Can-Am with the sprayer tank and the flagging, for flagging the fields. And this GPS monitor decided to die on us and it wouldn't work. So we're switching it for one that we had on our sprayer, which is a littler one. This is a temporary fix, but it has a different power cable and a different everything. But hopefully it should work. It's the same Trimble company, and so our files should work on it. So we're gonna get this switched over and hopefully we can get going here. So okay, so we got power on it, but this cable doesn't go anywhere, or I don't have somewhere for it to go, so it makes me a little bit nervous. I think this one's the GPS one here, so we hook this bad boy up and top, and I think hopefully it still works. I'm not 100% sure. So sorry, I don't know if you can actually see that, but it's saying we have no GPS position currently. GPS may take 10 minutes to reach full accuracy. I'm gonna give it 10 minutes like it says and see if we can get it to connect. Meanwhile, I'm gonna go check out some incubators and leave this on. Because 10 minutes is 10 minutes. Valuable time. We can do all kinds of things in 10 minutes. But that's good, we got power. That's the first essential step. And we can see if we can make it work from there. Checking incubators with beekeeper Tyler. I checked 6 of the incubators so far, but incubator 1 is great. We're just on the tail end of parasite control. We're about to clear it out and we got the parasites, which is great. 2 and 3, beautiful control. The parasites are just barely making it to black light. A lot of them are dying on the tray or on the way there, so that's like exactly how we want it. Incubator 4, we just are starting to do some parasite control on it. We'll see how it goes. Parasites are just starting to emerge. Incubator 5, that's our first one. We did a little batch of them and looking great. We have a couple little males that are popping out, and I'll show you a video on that. So they're getting really close and they need to go off to BC here in the next couple of days. So anyway, we'll keep them cooking just for a little bit longer. But at this stage, this is where it gets a little bit dicey, is that when you start having 1 or 2 bees emerging, it's like suddenly, like, it seems like overnight, or well, absolutely overnight, but within like an hour or 2, sometimes you can have a whole tray just go explode. So you just got to keep an eye on it. Incubator 6 is going great. And now I'm just going to check incubator 7, so come on in with me. So we're in incubator 7 and it is June the 8th, so we're only on day 4, so we're not super far into it, but we were having some trouble with the heat pumps. They wouldn't really kick on for a little while, and we finally got them going. So these might be a day or two behind, so we're gonna try and keep them cooking pretty good and push them. But overall, you're not gonna see too much going on in here. We'll go and take a look. You can't really see very much. Whoa. Really, there's not much going on. And so we have one fan that's broken, but the heat pumps seem to be going. Let's go take a check. The temperature is warmer in here. Yeah, 86 Fahrenheit, but we kind of push it a little bit. We don't auto, we just say heat up until, and then sometimes summer days, but we can get it about where we want to. It usually hovers around 30 degrees, but they're all just incubating away. And now with these new trace stickers we have on there, it's really exciting because now they'll tell us exactly which sample they are and tie it back to this incubator. So when they're out in the field, we know exactly where they came from and what the temperatures. Was it delayed a day or so because of heat pumps not working? So anyway, it's really exciting. They're all beautifully trayed and labeled, so things are looking good.
What we got here? Do we got little babies and mummies? Yeah, the calving is going great. There's babies everywhere, and the grass is green and beautiful. What do you think? What do you think?
Go.
Do you think we should go? Okay, we'll go. We're just looking at the babies. Say moo. Say moo. Are they cute?
Is this bubble gum?
Well, there's some spicy gum in there, some cinnamon gum. But cows, everybody, they're just fantastic. Rain is amazing for cows and babies. Okay, we're having not a typical Southern Alberta day, but this often happens to us. We get these big winds coming from the west. So Doug and I are going to kind of look at the damages. So there's some branches coming off of trees, small branches so far. But land is starting to move. There's definitely, I mean, it's not terrible when you get closer to it, thankfully, but there's got to be a spot over on that hill that's starting to blow. It should calm down here in a couple of hours, I think. But yeah, that's right. But it is quite a wind. I'd stick the camera out the window, but you wouldn't hear anything except for crazy noise. So yeah, that field, we put cover crop on it so that it wouldn't blow. And then there's a field over here that's all blowing everywhere. It's not great. It's kind of depressing to watch.
I just showed up to the yard and they're moving sea cans. I'm not sure exactly what's going on. Just trying to catch up. It looks like it's corny in there, so maybe he was working on it. It seems to be working good. So we can load and unload trailers then.
This was what we bought the Fantizzi for, and we're finally done it for the first time. I don't know, I hope somebody got maybe some more video, but so yeah, that container could be full, I don't know. But here's the bee crew. We're putting tents in. Hey, Star! But then they just loaded this full shipping container onto that trailer so that they can head to the field and put in the tents. So it took us a couple of years, but we're finally using the Fantizzi to do what we want to do. It's Gravel Dave, and we are at the big gravel pit, Grand Forks Gravel. They just finished yesterday crushing for the Highway 2 twinning project for the asphalt part of that project, and those are the big piles in the distance. And now they're just starting to crush a pile for us for our well, whatever. But we need to wash some of it and screen some of it for our concrete. And then we'll use a fair amount of it for roads and other things. But hopefully they only have two days or so to crush for us before they've got to run to another project. So I don't know, we'll maybe get 20,000 ton crushed. It'll just get us through this year, do some experimenting with washing and screening, and then we'll know what we want to do in the future. Anyway, we're trying to pick up a big concrete customer and supply them their wash, sand, and aggregate as well. But we've got it's a lot of testing and then come up with the infrastructure for a reliable delivery and all that stuff. So anyway, it's a process, but it's very exciting. They'll build us a pile. Hopefully it'll be a decent pile here in a couple of days. Okay, so we're out planting beans. Nice rows of pinto beans. This is our last field. And I'm going to load up a seed again. But there's something kind of funny coming across the field. I might have to wait a second for you to see it, but there's a mom and a dad Canadian geese. I don't know how you say that exactly, but they've got their little family of baby geese, and they're obviously relocating, and they're coming to this water wetland over here. And it must be a little bit irritating to be a mom and a dad that can fly, but yet you've got this whole little family that can't fly, and so you do what you have to do. You walk. And so they're walking these baby geese across this potato field, which has just been power hilled. So it's got big hills and ridges, and they're all going up and down through the potatoes. Anyway, so I'm trying to hide here behind this machine because I don't want to scare them off. But it's a cute little family of geese. Oh yeah, it's cute. So that's great. The mom got the babies through the field, and now they're down by the water of that dugout over there. So way to go, mom and dad. Good team. Okay, this is a quarter of Mayakoba yellow beans. We're still in this windy weather, but down in this river valley, the land is a little bit heavier and maybe a little bit protected by being in the river bottom. There is a little bit of dusting on the far end, but we were here on Friday and it's Monday. No, it's Tuesday. So about 4 days ago, there was nothing poking out of the ground, not one bean. And now they're, 90% emergence. It's just, they come all up at the same time. It's so beautiful. These beautiful rows of beautiful little beans. It's another season, super exciting. Woo! Okay, so we're down at we call it the Cook Flat pivot. It's pivot number 5. And this is down in the river valley at the forks of the Bow, the Old Man, and turning into the South Saskatchewan. And so these are Mayakoba yellow beans, and they're all coming up beautifully. But something happened in the night, and this pivot shut down on me. So I'll have to figure it out. It can be kind of tricky, especially on an older pivot, but it actually seems fairly straight. If one, it says it's an alignment fault, but when the pivot is straight, that is very suspicious. Because normally that means that a micro switch failed and one tower will get behind or it'll get ahead. It'll either not turn on or it won't turn off, and then it gets ahead. And then there's other micro switches that safety it out so that it doesn't pull itself apart, fold in half, tip itself over. You got to keep all of the towers working together using little micro switches. Anyway, or it could be a flat tire or a gearbox that went bad or something else. But when the pivot is straight when you get here, That makes it harder to figure out. There's definitely trouble ahead. This is the very first tower, and that is why the pivot still looked fairly straight, is because it wasn't out in the middle, out of line. But that first tower had troubles. And we can see that it's building making a deeper ridge here. For a first pass, that's something's not quite right. And then we got two tires trying to work together. And when something goes wrong with one tire, then the other one's doing all the work, and then you get trouble. And we got trouble. Woo-wee! Drive shaft. There's supposed to be a drive shaft. And there is there. But on this side, it busted right off. So the drive shaft's still okay. It's just that our connector joints busted, which, I mean, that usually means that this gearbox here is giving trouble. It doesn't usually just happen that it snaps all to pieces like this. This gearbox is probably seized up. So I need a gearbox and some more couplers to get this thing going again. Oh boy, big job. Lots of lifting, love it. Okay, so the beautiful Old Man River, going around that corner. There's some great fishing over there. I don't have time to fish, but many people do. Good on them. And so this is our pump site, and we did do some, we rebuilt the pump, and we were using a different river screen. But in the night, as I was just mentioning, that pivot, a gearbox seized up, drive shaft snapped off, then the other tire spins down because it's working against the other one, and then the pivot gets a little bit ahead and safety's out. As soon as it safety's out, boom, the pivot shuts off. And then in this box, this is that supplies the power to the pivot, there's a current sensor in there, and it's sensing whether power is going down that tube, down and over to the pivot. And as soon as there is no power going down into that pivot, it automatically shuts off the pump, which is this black wire going down here to the pump. That way you don't pump water in one spot in the field all night long and make a huge lake. It's a safety system. And it used to be that there was underground wires that went to the pivot to run that safety circuit. But this pivot's been here since I was a little kid, and I'm an old man now. And over the years, different rodents, moles and such, have dug down and wrecked those wires. And so instead of running all new wires, they just use a current sensor. New modern technology is also awesome. Anyway, so wow, this is a new way of running the plumbing. I've never seen us run our flexible pipe like that, but hey, who am I to say what's the right way? Every generation does something different here. So we'll check it out. They ran the flexible hose. Usually the flexible hose is out there on the ground, but that is a pain as well. But so they've got it running up over top of there and all the way up onto the pump. So this new river screen is totally different. As you remember from videos last year, there used to be a big barrel that would spin, and now it actually, the screen is pointed down into the river and spins. Instead of spinning over top, it's spinning round and around in the water. So I'll have to get you some video of that here when we turn it back on again. But for now, it's time to go fix the pivot. Hi, little girls and boys. Those look like swallows of some sort. Hi, little swallows. We have a lot of swallows that live in the banks of the river, and it's great fun to watch them all. Whoa, sorry. Anyway, it's fun to be out by the river. It's beautiful to see the water going by.
All right. Farmer Dave, the pivot master, and I, his humble apprentice, have come to
You got it wrecked, now we gotta jack it up.
fix her up. So get the job done here in just a second. Maybe we'll do a time lapse. So you watch how it's done.
So we reinstalled the newer gearbox. Now we're reinstalling the drive shaft into these quick couplers with the green and the orange there. Those are like a strong plastic kind of rubbery stuff that cushions, because these motors just come on and off, on and off. It's just all or nothing. It's not a soft start. Anyway, so the rubber gives us some, anyway, it makes things last a lot longer. Okay, go ahead. So now we're just going to tighten up the drive shaft just a bit, because that's aluminum and then we'll crack. So you just get them close and then we'll, yeah, that on the ends you can tighten it up all the way, but these will tighten the final part by hand. I've snapped a few of those myself.
Yes.
Fantastico. Excellent, then we'll put the tire back on and we'll have her. Okay, so we got the tire off and this gearbox it's all loose. You don't want to see that. And so it finally got to a spot somewhere in there that it bound up. And it's interesting, I don't see, oh yeah, no, yeah, there's an oil leak. So it's low on oil, chewed out the gear, and now she's garbage. But we rebuilt, what, did you already unload that gearbox? Yeah, there it is. We replaced one pivot. Yeah, we replaced a pivot last year, and so we have a bunch of spare gearboxes from that pivot. So we'll use some of those since they were fairly new. We had rebuilt that pivot fairly recently and then it rusted out and fell down. So we got some spares. Here we go. Okay, so we got the tire back on. Everything seems to be together. We usually leave some tool sitting right there, or right here is where we often set a tool. Anyway, it looks like it's all together. Final inspection. I'll just use the big hand wrench and just make sure they're nice and tight. They don't go very fast and they don't go very far, but somehow they chew those. If they're not super tight, they'll start slowly working. Those holes will get all worn and the nuts just seem to somehow come loose. It's crazy, but now this one will be able to work with this one instead of against it, and we'll be going for it. Okay, so Tyler is holding the button over there because it was out of alignment. So there's a safety button you have to hold to get it to move. So now that tower over there, the other towers are moving. So this one, because it got behind, it'll take a little while for it to get back into alignment. And then it should go. Hopefully, we don't hear anything too crazy. On the app that we run with our phones, it doesn't give us the ability to override the safety from our phone. We actually have to go to the pivot point to do that. But Peter was telling me that the new demo app, I can't remember what you call that. Whoa, wow. What's going on? We're going for it. Woo! See that? Came right up out of its hole. Yeah, when both tires are working together, it's no problem. The other, anyway, fantastic. Okay, we're good. You can stop it. Or just put it on, turn on the water and then it should stop. Put it on wet. If you put it on wet, then we don't have to come back to the pivot point. Anyway, fantastic. Mission accomplished. Drive shaft reinstalled. We are good to go. Woo! We're priming the pump. Let the air go. We got leaks everywhere. Holy smokes. Okay, so we got to tighten this before we can start it.
Okay. Is it a hex?
I can't believe it ran through the night.
Can I tighten it with a flathead screwdriver, or does it need a?
Like a 5/16 or a 3/8 bolt.
Okay.
But this is on the suction side, so it's just sucking air into the
Yeah.
pump.
Okay.
And air craters the blade on the impeller.
Okay. I'll be back. Don't need to take 10 trips when you can just bring everything. Couldn't find a crescent wrench. Okay. What size are you looking for?
3/8 or 7/16. It's a little teeny guy. Smaller.
13 millimeter. That's your metrics. 7/16.
Okay.
7/16. Ready.
I think it's 3/8. Yeah.
3/8. Okay.
It might even be 5/16, like the one that we use. Like that. You could throw me that blue driver. Oh.
Nice. That was impressive. I think I got that on video.
Yeah, it's the one in between.
3/8. Do it again. NBA. NBA.
2 in a row. That's we quit. We retired.
That's right.
Yeah, anything on the suction side that leaks is going to suck air into the system, and you may lose your prime. But even if you don't, it what do they call it? It puts little anyway. It chews away at your impellers. What do they call that?
You could have been a plumber.
All this time.
Your true calling. Fixing leaks.
Yeah, this suction pipe, we've got to do something different about it. We could. We're not seeing the snakes here like we did last spring. When it's cool and wet, that's not so good. Snakes don't like that. And this is a cool and wet spring. We have seen a couple snakes, but not a whole bunch. Oh, I dropped him. Come on. There you go. Hi. He's a big one. He can hang on to that branch pretty good. They're good. There you go. So this is the first snake I picked up this season. You're okay. Yeah, you're okay. It's a nice bull snake. He's probably only about 4.5 feet long. But they're so nice to see him. It's been a cool spring, so there just hasn't been as many of them. Yeah, he's hanging onto that bush real good. I'll let him go. I'm just wanting to get a good look at our beautiful bull snakes. Yeah, there you go. There you go. Goodbye.
Can he do it again?
No!
Oh. Hey, but that's 75% shooting. They pay big bucks in the NBA still for that kind of stuff.
Yeah, we're prime. So you can hit the start button up there.
Alright. I'll show you what the start button looks like. Run all the way up here to this box. Alright. 480 volts. Just make sure to lick your fingers before you touch a bunch of stuff in here. Okay. Right! Then he's opening that blue valve, spinning it. You can see just barely. Opening up. It looks like we're good. Water will start coming. And here in a little bit, switch to the auto. And after we do the Murphy switch. But here in a little bit, oh, you see there? Water's starting to come. Just like magic. Let's see with my fancy camera if I can zoom in more. Ooh. See the moon landing with this camera.
Okay, this is the first time that I've seen this river screen operating. It's
got a couple of nozzles, one to, or maybe three, I don't know, anyway. Nozzles to clean it and nozzles to spin it. I actually turned down the pressure. It was spinning so fast, I don't want to wear it out. But I can hear bubbles coming through the system. So we do have to do a repair on this suction pipe here next week. We'll try to get this pivot around and then we'll pull it apart. That's too bad.
It's the closest I've ever been to a gopher. He's right at my feet. Oh, he's gone. He's right there. He's poking his little head out. Usually they're pretty nervous, but he stuck his head out and just like... So for some reason, it's not moving. We set it to wet and forward. And it's just staying in one spot. So then when you try and press the Murphy switch, it just buzzes at you. And so you have to wait till it's moving. So he's gonna run and check, and then he's gonna let me know what's going on. Oh, it looks like he's about to call me. Or he's taking a video. Zoom out. Did we get it? Oh, he fixed something. Now we're good.
Okay, we got it going. The water's going. Our new gearbox is going. Whoop, 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 woo! That's fantastic. Nothing better than water going onto your beautiful field. It's amazing. Well, okay, there's one thing better, and that's rain. But we're so glad we have irrigation.
Safety, now it's on auto. And we are golden. My friend hasn't come back yet. He's still scared of me.
Yes, farming has some crazy moments when these pivots break down. But it is still a very beautiful process. Growing food, seeing all these beautiful little plants. And these Mayakoba beans, these yellow beans, they taste so good. They're nutritious. They're great protein. Anyway, somebody's got to grow the food. We got to get her done.
It's about 4:30, no, sorry, 5:30. I got here at 4:30, but it's 5:30 now. And we're at our main water dugout. And that's the new pump house. The sun is just starting to come up. And, oh, it just flew away. That was a beautiful blue heron. I love those birds. We're just starting to fill the dugout for the first time this spring. New irrigation water. Beautiful morning. Yeah, very fun. Nice to have a blue heron come and visit our dugout. Anyway, they're a very large bird and very nice.
So my curlews are back this year. Hi, babies. This pair was here last year. Oh yeah, oh that's a different one. Yeah, so the curlews have the curved beak. And I'm not sure what the straight ones, but it's pretty fun because they fake an injury and they drag a wing. That one was just doing it really good for me. This one's just trying to lead me away from the babies. Very fun. Love our shorebirds. Come and get me. I wouldn't hurt one of your babies for anything, but it's fun to see how you defend your babies. You guys are very good. Oh yeah, come and get me. Come and get me. And you do have a pretty song. There you are, come and get me. But that one's got a straight bill. If anything, it's curved up a little bit. So we got two different varieties here. This is our field of this is triticale. Hey, hello, hello. I'm just going to start the pivot here. This is going to be for forage. We'll be cutting and baling this in about a month. And so it's just for forage for the cows. And things are looking great.
Okay, we're planting our very last field. Sorry about the wind. It's a field of dry land, and we're planting Phacelia right now. What's that? Yeah, one strip of Phacelia, and then the rest is going to be tame buckwheat. Woo! Anyway, so we'll be done seeding. We're just planting these as flowers for the leafcutter bees. Beautiful! Woo! Well, it's a beautiful night. We just finished seeding. There's the air drill over there. Sorry, we'll zoom us in. No, maybe we won't. Anyway, the air drill's over there. This is a field of buckwheat that we're planting for flowers for the leafcutter bees. So this will be for leafcutter bee grazing this summer. But so now we're officially completely finished planting everything. And I ran out of fertilizer and seed on the very last pass there, so the drills are completely empty. It just worked out great. Awesome, and it's fun to see the beautiful sunsets and the amazing clouds. And it's been crazy, well, not crazy windy, but windy all day today. But as soon as the sun hit the horizon, the wind just died. So now it's a beautiful night. I thought I just heard a call of a coyote, we definitely hear the coyotes around here, but who knows? Anyway, thanks. We're done. Tomorrow night's the big bowling party. You'll probably get a video of that here soon. We rented the whole bowling alley and we've invited everybody. I don't know, maybe about 70 people or so. We'll do karaoke and bowling and golf simulator and NBA basketball game, some playoff game. Anyway, it'll be awesome. So talk to you soon.